That's you.
We're good. Yep.
We're good to go? All right. Did we have any public communications? No? We have approval of the minutes of March 25th.
Motion to approve minutes of March 26th.
Second.
Second. Discussion? Any changes? No? Barbara's our reader. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? We're good. All right, new applications. 1408 North Road. It needs a rock. I used to collect them in my travels for Deb.
Well, there's no absence of rocks around here.
Yeah.
But these are
Well, some of
river
those,
rocks.
some
You
of
gotta
those
finish
came
sliding
from
it.
Newfoundland. and
Yeah.
other places, yeah.
So can I just make one comment before we start on this? So for me, I really like to have perspective of where I am. I certainly know where North Road is, but I'm very used to having like a little thing in the corner that tells me approximately where this property is.
Okay.
So just for the record,
It might be on the.
Yeah, it's original survey. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
if you could send those, include that then in,
Yeah.
but it
That was
wasn't,
part of the, it should have been.
well, whatever. Anyway, I looked for it and I didn't see it. So
Describe where it is.
yes, thanks.
So
Yeah.
this is,
I
North
looked
Road,
up on maps where it was.
just a mile or so from the Ledyard line, so the north side of North Road. North of 184, so.
Okay. So yeah, maybe if
Yeah.
it is on
Yeah.
another map.
Yeah, and which side? Too?
And if you can just introduce yourself to.
The west side.
Just after that Galesbury Road.
Past that.
Is there a trailer park situation?
For maybe up here. You're familiar with where Cooper Street's on?
Yep.
That's the adjacent property.
Okay,
He actually has the existing driveway. He
okay,
had an easement because of the wetlands there.
thanks.
So I'm John Mudka, applicant and owner, going to be building for my family here. And we about a 21, just under 2,200 square foot house with a 28 by 24 garage. We purchased this property from my father, who back in 2023, who had purchased it in 2020. So we've had it in the family about 5 years now. And just last fall, really started pushing to get something built there. We're in a small house right now, so trying to upgrade for our family that is growing. Currently, there's an existing well and an existing septic system. Spoken with Deb and several others, and there's no records of those.
There are no records of those?
No records. The only record that we could find was a demolition of a structure back in 2018. And the building was condemned in 1996.
The building was condemned in
I
1996
believe that's
and it
correct.
was demoed in 2018.
Yep.
Pretty good timeline.
How old is the septic system?
There's no record. So I'm assuming whoever had it then just put it in all on their own, and that was that. So
So there's not confirmation as to whether that's operative. Is that the
right,
implication?
it opened it and it's empty. It's talked to one expert, said it's more of a not a leach field, but a
Cesspool?
cesspool. Yeah,
Oh, so
so,
Ledgelight's gonna condemn it.
yeah, I talked to Ledgelight, explained, and she said, yeah, we'll have to condemn it and either fill it or rip it out. And mitigate all that, so. Yeah, so that's basic current conditions. The reason for this spot is, we want to maximize the backyard usage. We have a, growing family, we want to keep it, the windows on, kitchen and living room on the backside, so we want to be able to view outside for the kids and that's playing.
Could you point out the back side and the front side, please?
Sure.
Yeah, you actually don't need to stand back there if you don't. It's
Oh,
better
okay.
if you stand here.
Sounds good. So this is the front. And this would be the back. Kitchen is on this side, so presenting this way, trying to get, most view. We're right up against the 100-foot line, just over it. There's some
Can you point out
Woodrow.
the 100-foot line?
right here.
Right up
from
against
the
it?
flag,
Goes right through it, yeah.
right. Over a
So
bit,
the wetland is to this,
flagged here in this corner,
oh,
and then it continues on the adjacent property. Over here.
What's that road there?
This is the
neighbor.
right.
Hmm.
So Cooper's Tree Farm is this property here,
Yeah,
and so he has an easement for his drive
Uh,
through here. So the entire driveway is within that 100-foot
is that an
setback.
existing used driveway?
For Mr. Cooper, yes,
So he uses that on a daily basis.
yeah, more or less, yeah.
Mm.
He's in his 90s, so I don't think he travels much, but
Got
I
it.
have seen vehicles coming in and out of the Groton shuttle for the senior center.
Okay.
So is there, any problem with moving that house out of that buffer zone?
Mm,
looks like you have plenty of room.
mm.
So the only thing is, and I've been trying to get with someone about septic design, would be the septic size if we keep it in the same general area. So proximity, but like I said, there's wiggle room here. We can move it back beyond the 100-foot if necessary. But the reasoning, the drive, existing drive already in the 100-foot. I'm assuming my application would be for driveway mostly. Extend that either off of this or coming off of the.
You got lots of room for a septic system there.
Okay.
I mean, I just put one in and it doesn't take that much space.
All right.
And
There's no
You-
wetland in the back.
Correct.
Yeah.
and do you
could
you
move
have
it
to
way
go
back.
off the existing driveway?
Don't have to, like this, looks like it was meant to be there. There's ledge over here, so unless I get another permit to come off somewhere else down the road. Trying to keep the house away from the well and the septic separating.
I don't see any reason why you can't move the house back out of the 100-foot.
And again, if this is where they made the curb cut, this would be much less impact than all of this. If you can skinny down to over there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you want to
I
show
mean-
the existing condition survey just for some more context in that?
And this one?
That's for, not for nothing. Not that I want anything more to do, but I kind of need to look at this.
How, you got your rule, how far is that back to the setback line back there
This one?
from the house?
Please.
Yeah, 1 inch is 20 feet. Well, from the house to the setback
okay.
line. In the back particularly, that'd be the direction he's moving. How about back, going back? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
30 feet, 90,
90 feet.
yeah.
So you could easily pull that house back out of the
Mhm.
100 foot and still have
Mhm.
70 feet.
Right.
And again, I feel pretty strongly about that driveway too. That's a lot. That's a huge impact there. Probably gonna be impervious. I'd rather see the driveway from here.
And for the moment, I like to do gravel, but.
I'm sorry?
I'd like to do gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand too, that's fine, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot less impact coming into it from that direction than the way it's shown.
Okay.
So
So
you
did you
might
want
want
to
to,
speak about the actual, what are the features of the land out there? Is it all mowed? Is it treed? What?
Mostly tree back here. I have cleared some trees on this side. Originally, we were thinking about putting the house like here.
Yeah.
But it does look over into the neighbors, so we want to push it back away. To, keep our views from looking at either neighbor on either side.
Maybe you could tilt the house that way so it's looking back in that direction.
Yeah, this angle we prefer, just because of the views, and then also we'd like to do solar at some point. So if we can, capture more of the afternoon,
Which is north.
this,
north, yeah.
Oh,
Can you show again the location of the clearing that's been done, the approximate
right here.
The
This-
location of the what?
clearing?
Clearing?
Clearing,
tree cutting.
Yep, so, right,
You put
this-
the septic over in that corner.
Yeah.
Move the house back. And tilt it a little so that
Yeah,
you look
well,
north.
again, yeah, so I think you're getting the gist.
Yeah.
Did anybody at that end on the table want to talk? No?
Yeah, I'm total agreement. The house
Yeah.
ought to be out of the 100 foot.
House
And you
out-
ought to move the driveway coming in
Get out of that,
to minimize that.
that's right,
Sure.
as quickly as possible.
And
They'll give you
then,
something to think about anyway.
yeah, sounds good. All right.
all right.
All right,
And
and we
I-
won't classify it yet because I suppose we
I
could.
think we can classify.
It's a minor for
Yeah.
sure.
Motion to accept, motion to classify as minor, whatever this is
Second it.
named.
Second,
Discussion?
Ludka residents.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right.
You
minor.
guys want to walk it or not want to walk it?
I would like to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
Okay,
That's good.
we'll prepare you.
Does anybody want to walk?
Prepare
sometime next week.
I won't
That's
be
fine.
here next week.
What day is good?
The week after. Well, Monday, it's all right.
What are the
So-
numbers next week?
You might want to hang a minute on
Okay.
time, because you might want to look at the next one too. And then,
Okay, we can set it up there.
yeah,
We're probably going to walk it. We'll let you know.
Let you know.
Okay. And do I need to be there? Or no?
No, as long as we can walk around.
I might recommend that you be there if you can.
Yeah.
If you can, I
Yeah, I
would
mean,
probably recommend.
Be fine to be there.
Yeah, we might have questions.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Don, are there any days that are bad for you that they should avoid?
No, I have a chiropractor appointment I haven't scheduled yet.
Okay, so no vacations, okay, so it'll be in the next couple of weeks.
And
Talk today, if you can fix your back for you.
Yeah.
How about you, Andy? You want us to stay out of your week?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
Great.
Actually, I'm still doing my Tuesday, Thursday evening shift, but it starts at 3.
All right. Sherman residence, 504 Noank Road.
Face them.
Property survey first. Good evening. I'll grab the microphone. Good evening. My name is Greg Fettis with Fettis Engineering, an office at 70 Essex Street in Mystic, Connecticut. Here representing the Shermans. Wayne Sherman is on his way, but is stuck in traffic coming from Rhode Island.
Is this him?
Yes, it is.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Your application just came up.
So this was approved back, I think, around 2004-ish, maybe.
The subdivision.
The subdivision was approved. I don't know, for context, I don't know if you want to look at that. I have a copy of that also. But it's I would call it a common private drive coming off of Noank Road.
About where is that?
It's
Remember the pond that we let him build the walls up at,
Yeah.
and it's down towards the railroad track. Remember that?
yeah, so the railroad tracks and the Mystic River.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is kind of highlighted in black here is the common drive. I think this is the last lot to be developed in the neighborhood. So this is the subdivision map, which kind of shows there's an existing house that was back then. And then they used all kind of 5 different kind of, I guess, cookie cutter houses to get the approval back in 2004. So kind of everyone built a bit of a different house in which we're proposing. Let me see, this would be our lot here on the back right, that big ledge outcropping. I don't know how familiar you guys are with it. I think that's the stone walled water feature that you guys maybe saw relatively recently, less than
Yeah,
10
that's
years
right.
ago. So our lot is pretty much a grassy mowed area now for the most part, which is right here. That's that ledge outcropping.
There was a little washout for a while there. When was
Okay,
that?
on the driveway, that's right.
How many years ago was that? Yeah.
So this drawing's pretty good and showing this is a tidal wetland coming off, I guess, underneath the railroad tracks up to a point, and then there's inland, 2 fingers of inland wetlands. One being adjacent to our property here, this little piece here that runs up to, I don't know what you call it, the wetland water feature here across the driveway with a culvert going and feeding that. So we're proposing just to develop our lot. My client's picked out a house he likes. And since it was different than what was originally approved, and I'm guessing the original site approval needed to be updated anyway. But there's a couple easements, view easement here. And I think there's another view easement over on this side. And then some sewer easements and access easements and so forth. And then this is that ledge outcropping. But the property is basically includes the easements here. The tidal wetland again is coming up. And that finger of inland wetlands is here.
What's a view easement?
So people over here, they won't let us put anything. I don't remember the height, but basically can't put a building there to block their view. So when they did they thought about it for the whole development, the whole subdivision.
Well, they were the owners of the house, so that's why they did that.
yeah, I think, I think
I
their
don't know if
house,
they still
yeah.
live there, but
Um,
Yeah.
but it's well thought out, so, you know, it increases the property values of everyone if you have an area to build, but you don't block anyone else's.
Mm.
Where's the 100-foot line from the wetland?
So I'm gonna show you. This
whoops.
is our site plan. What we're proposing. You know, just between the view easement. The tidal wetland is 50 feet here, which we can't, that's the tidal wetland, which is not your jurisdiction. That's a hard setback line. And then the 100-foot comes across, over the driveway, and so forth. So we're clipping that with the house on that
And-
side.
Looks like your garage.
Well, a little bit of our driveway here, yes, and, driveway there.
It looks like 20% of the house is in there.
I don't know if I would say 20%, but I can have that calculation for you next time.
What's the feature just above it? Is that a septic system or
Where are you here?
no,
This,
above it, this towards me?
oh, here?
Yeah.
This is just a stockpile area.
Okay. So what's your reasoning that you can't back the house up a little bit?
So we have, setback, side yard setbacks here of 12 feet. So we're right kind of up against that at 15.
That won't affect coming towards me.
Towards, oh, I thought you said back up, so, towards you.
Yeah.
We could come a little bit. I'm trying to see, we're up against the view easement here, so yes, we could come a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. We could probably slide it down on this angle a little bit. To get closer to the view easement and pull it, you know, this way.
Well, I
Get your
remember
scale out
vividly when
again.
we Did this subdivision.
What's the square?
He has
footage
one,
of
yeah.
Oh, you got,
Yeah.
what's the present distance, the corner of the house to the view easement?
Corner of the house to the view easement.
Right.
Uh, Sure I got the right line here. To the corner of the house is 20 feet to the view easement, a little over 20, 22. The deck is 8, 9.
Deck's not going to affect the view easement.
Again, that's all their stuff. I remember vividly when we approved this subdivision.
Yeah.
We knew that this lot was
Yeah,
a tricky lot.
but they were going to have a
So,
smaller house,
That's
as I
all.
remember.
So my
Yeah,
vote
that
is
was
not
my-
gonna be for anything within that 100-foot buffer zone.
Yeah.
So that's where I am on this.
What is the?
The original house was within the 100-foot.
Again, that's not, it's just, that was just a schematic. That's not an approval by any stretch. It's an approval for a lot that they could build a house and fit a house on there.
Right, but if they're showing the schematic within the 100-foot,
Schematic doesn't mean it. It's just a proposed.
They're just proposed, show that they can fit.
okay, we'll take a closer look at that, but
Yep.
why wouldn't they just put it outside the 100-foot then?
Yeah, I doubt if you could slide it back far enough to get it completely out of it, but
Yeah.
it would take vast majority of it out.
At the time, there was a 50-foot setback
Got it.
at the approval.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that answers it.
Yeah, this isn't to scale, so. But yes, they do show 50-foot on here. For both the inland and tidal.
Yep.
What is the square footage of the house? I'm just curious.
I don't think I have it on this plan.
4,500?
I think the footprint though. Was close to a little over 4,000.
Uh-huh.
And on that side that's in the buffer, is that the garage? Is that?
There is a garage on this
Yeah.
side, that's why the driveway comes over there.
What is that 100-foot area presently? What's the condition of it?
It's
Trees,
grass.
grass?
Yes.
It's currently that area. And I'll bring an updated photo next time, or you guys will actually come out. It's a large tree that's at the base of the ledge that's, was supposed to come down, I think, in the original approval. But I believe it's still there. So this whole grassed area here is presently where we're looking to put the house in this area. This tree was on the original approvals to be removed because it's a big tree and it's right kind of intertwined with the ledge. So I think
Yeah.
the root system is not taking hold so much.
So what's the 50-foot line from the tidal wetland?
That's here. I didn't highlight it, but it's this line here, 50. And then it stops here and cuts across.
Yeah.
Because
so it wouldn't affect very much if the house moved back some
if it moved in this
towards
direction,
me.
it wouldn't affect we still would be out of the 50,
Yeah.
correct?
That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So you might consider that. I think that, we're trying to,
Maybe move the garage to the other side, so your driveway doesn't have to come in on that side either.
Yeah, we can definitely look at that.
Greg, where's the 50-foot setback from the coastal feature on there?
Um,
I know it's not on there, but can you tell?
oh, if I point here, it shows up there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So this is the 50-foot.
Yeah.
From the tidal wetlands.
you might have to move your stockpile somewhere else, but
Yeah.
that's a minor thing. I think you're trying to squeeze a whole lot of house in a small space. So you might want to think about that and look at that.
We'll take a look at the garage being in that location.
And the whole thing moving back,
Yeah.
pull it out
if
of
we-
that.
If we can do those two things, maybe we
Yeah,
can be close to skirting the 100.
yeah. All right, you want to classify this?
I move we classify it as minor.
Second.
Second. All right, discussion? No? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? All right. That'll give you something to think about.
Yes.
Play around with that.
Thank you.
Would the agency like to walk this one as well? No.
We've been out there a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out there before.
We went out for the
For the original.
and the,
Yeah.
Right.
With that said, do you want to try to get a date for 1408 North? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
thank you.
Whose scale is that? Is that your scale?
So do we have any idea?
I know Deb's got a couple of them because I've given her a few. Comes out easier than it goes in.
There you go.
So with no sidewalk
I
for
could
this
go
one?
Monday.
I don't think we need to walk that.
Yeah.
No,
And
no.
But the other one,
Yeah,
we should
exactly.
walk.
So do we want to try to
Monday?
Monday.
Monday?
Do it late in the afternoon Monday. I can't do it early.
That's the
Okay.
14th, is that what?
Monday.
Yeah,
What time you want?
I don't know, like 3 or
3:00,
That good?
That work for you?
2:30.
It's fine.
Okay.
Anytime on Monday.
3 on Monday.
Do
What?
you figure there's enough parking? Is there going to be an issue parking on that driveway or anything like that with the driveway easement?
Thanks, Greg.
It's not, okay.
Yeah.
grass
There's-
lawn on the
okay.
side.
Okay, just want to double check.
3 o'clock?
Using that from the tree farm that,
It's
Or,
right before
right
the
on the road.
sign for the tree farm. There's a driveway right in front of that sign, and that's where you want to drive in.
okay,
We'll get there early.
Yeah.
so that-
Okay.
Yeah.
you'll see
I just want to make sure there's no issue with
Yeah.
the tree farm with parking in that area.
It's 90-something years old.
Okay,
Not yet.
okay, just gotta check. Okay. So Monday, April 14th at 3 PM.
Yep.
Okay. All right, evening. Thank you.
All right.
And what's the number of North Road?
1408.
We need to act on the
14.
townwide permit.
So you notice.
Yeah,
You need that.
okay, good.
I just need clarification for myself after being on the agency for this long, that just because a house is placed in a certain place on a subdivision approval, it is still subject to wetlands approval once the lot is developed. Is that correct or incorrect?
If it is. Okay, so during the subdivision process, you guys are reviewing it and they show a box, a house, right?
Typical.
And they show whatever grading, and if the actual house, does not go any closer to the wetland at that point. That doesn't need to come back for another
Okay.
permit. Provided that the subdivision permit, is still active, it isn't in this case. But as we noted, back then you were looking at 50-foot setbacks, so that's one reason why the lots were developed the way they're shown. Because, they,
Gotcha.
at that time, they thought they had the ability to get closer to the
Mhm.
wetland than you're looking at now.
I wonder if houses were that big.
I'm sorry.
Houses may have been smaller back then too.
I think they. were-
Oh, yeah,
they
that,
were
whatever
envisioning
box what
very
it
large
was,
houses.
Really?
definitely,
For
It was
particular
Watch Hill.
subdivision.
yeah,
Nice
that's a big
units,
house for 1,000.
But yeah,
I'm just checking.
yep, absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Townwide permit.
Do you want me to recap a little bit? We don't have
Mhm.
Tom here with us.
No, we
but-
know what
Yeah.
it is.
Okay, okay. So with that said, we're
Yep.
ready to make a motion. Is
Yep.
everybody privy
Give it
to
to you,
the
Eunice.
draft motion?
Yeah. We're a reader.
That's the one I tried to download and couldn't.
You want to read it before I read it?
No, he said it, maybe, I don't know.
I'll look into it, I'll make sure.
I make a motion to approve Inland Wetlands Agency 25-0001 Townwide Drainage Public Works for removal of sediment deposits, brush and debris from within 25 feet of the inlet or outlet of an existing drainage pipe or culvert, cleaning or reshaping of a man-made drainage swale or sediment basin, installation or repair of a pipe or culvert end wall, repair of erosion damage, repair of a drainage pipe or culvert, roadway maintenance and safety improvements within the town of Groton right-of-way, and installation of stormwater structures for improvement of water quality as described in the narrative attached to the application. This permit is subject to the 4 standard conditions, and the following modification: the duration of the permit shall be 10 years.
Second,
All those in favor, or let's have who's the motion? Who's gonna-
Let's have a what?
A motion.
I made the motion.
That was the
Second.
motion.
Second.
Barbara, discussion? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Opposed? All right. And they didn't have to send Greg Hanover.
Hmm.
All right. DEP permit.
This is just a required notification for work over the Thames River, associated with the I-95, Gold Star Bridge improvements. You all got notifications, so did Planning and Zoning, and so did the Conservation Commission.
Yeah. All right, I don't have anything at all. You have anything, Deb? No?
You good?
Unless you want to invite him to May.
Oh, yeah.
So we have, as you're probably aware, we've been working, we have a consultant working with the Planning and Zoning Commission on the, on Groton 2035, which is our latest version of the Plan of Conservation and Development. We will be having a public meeting over at Thrive 55 on May 8th, 5:30 to 7:30. We'll be providing food. And they'll be doing a presentation, have some breakout,
Yeah,
little
brief
exercise.
presentation
Yep.
And then just some trying to get extract information from the folks who are there about what the important issues are that the document needs to address.
Will we get an email?
We will
Yes.
we will do that,
Yeah.
yes.
Does
Yes, we
this
will.
relate to the survey that went out?
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So
Yep.
you'll see what the results of the survey were.
Yeah.
And they'll go over like the baseline of where we are right now in terms of population, how much we've implemented out of the previous POCD, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
Public.
I just have two quick things. The first is I got communication from some people on the Democratic Town Committee that Megan Raymond, who we all know, she was an expert for the middle school property when it was developed. Has applied
That's
to
what I was telling you about.
be on the planning, on the Conservation Commission. But there is some suggestion that she might be better suited to this agency. I'm happy to call her based on what those two people are suggesting, when I chat with her, but I wanted to ask everybody if they should just let her keep her application for the Conservation Commission, or if you think she would be a good fit here.
Okay, I'm thinking she may have a conflict being on this commission with her job, but that's, up to her clearly and her employer. I don't know, is there any openings?
I was
No
gonna
openings
say,
on
there's no openings
conservation.
on conservation
Yeah.
right now.
Well, that was the other question that
Yeah,
was asked of me, and I said, I have no idea.
Yeah, we just filled our last seat 6 months or six, 8 months ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and I believe there's one person at least in the queue who's also applied for this commission, but that's, up to the council as to who they want to appoint, so,
right,
yeah.
Yeah. And
so, is it, again, I know, is it your sense that it would, could she just recuse herself on certain applications, or do you think that's an overall conflict? And I ask you that
I mean,
with all respect.
I would imagine, she is the soil scientist for her company. So, SLR does a good deal of work here. So if she had, it would be I don't know what we would do if she had to testify before you. She probably should not. So I don't know. But again,
it
that's
seemed like she was on the wrong side of the table.
apparently, I don't know.
Oh.
I'm sorry?
But that's between her and her employer,
Seems
if-
like a built-in problem.
but that's her call. I mean, if she's interested in it and her employer doesn't find a problem, I mean, that's, recusal and all that sort of stuff we can work around.
I'm just thinking of the near future too.
No, absolutely right. So, and again, she may want to watch and see when people are leaving or whatever. I mean, I think technically there's an opening on planning and zoning. There might be, I'm not sure if the Historic District Commission, there may be an opening there. Economic Development Commission has openings. I mean, there are other commissions as well, if she really wants.
We
to
have
take on.
another person in the wings, right?
Yeah.
That's my understanding is
Yeah.
that but working their way through. But again, if there's 2 or 3 people who are interested, the council chooses
Yeah.
who
And
they think is appropriate.
With these POCD meetings, there's always an opportunity if you show up and recruit, talk about
Yep.
the agency.
Yep.
And use that
Right.
as an
I
opportunity.
don't think we have much control over it, other than if we have no people here, I'm
It's a
assuming
problem.
they might
Yeah.
want to get some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
exactly.
main thing. I mean, Barbara, you're still hot to get off, right?
Oh, yeah.
You,
Well,
Well, and Dave's,
and
Right.
Barbara's also.
so that leaves Annie and I standing. Annie's already shared with me that she's still trying to learn Robert's Rules of Order.
I
because
just
she
took the
feels-
class.
I said, girl, good girl you are. Anyway, and then the second thing I just want to let you guys know, so you probably are already aware, but there's a Wolf Brook. What are we calling this property now?
we
Wolfbrook.
are calling it Wolfbrook,
Wolf Brook.
but it's an invitation only.
Right,
walk, right, okay,
yeah,
okay.
I just, it's an
Yeah.
invitation, but I just want to let you
Yeah.
know that that's moving forward. And it seems like it's a good group of people on this, whatever this is, group.
Mhm.
And so we're gonna walk that property on Friday,
And
so.
Wolfbrook, remind me.
Remember, that was the one with the amazing vernal pool. Rich Snarski said he'd never seen a vernal pool like
Oh,
this.
Yeah,
his whole
right.
this
life.
goes back a ways.
Way
Yeah,
back.
Yeah,
yeah.
way
Remember,
back.
they wanted a whole
Yeah.
nother bit up
Yeah.
above.
And we
said they could have a
restricted the road
with-
going
yeah.
across.
But didn't we get sued for
Yep,
that
yep,
too?
yep.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, and they
that's what I'm
lost.
telling you. On a bright note,
Yes,
things are good.
yeah.
So.
So
yeah.
the town owns it. Parks and Rec has hired a consultant to do a management plan, essentially lay out some trails, look at what the vegetation is, if there's any invasives, come up with a plan to remove them, look at the tree stand, you know, if it's appropriate to remove some trees for the health of the forest, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
But hopefully it'll be open to the public.
Yeah, I
soon, right?
remembered it
You know,
was
I
so
mean,
beautiful.
I mean, not just open, available.
But
but-
yeah,
Yes.
with parking.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, that was that was a
Yeah,
bright
really
note.
nice.
Yeah. I know you can't. I knew nobody else could come, Deb.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
You had to sign up on this thing. You had your
Yeah.
choices and then 8 people voted for one date, so that date won. Aren't you proud of me? I'm doing this.
I am. Oh, very
Motion to
good,
adjourn.
very
Does that
good.
go all the way to Field of Fire?
Yes,
It's a huge tract of
Huge,
land, huge
Yeah.
tract of land.
161 acres. Yep.
Is
Yeah.
that what it is? 161?
I saw Bobcat
Yeah, I'm not
It's a
surprised.
beautiful piece of property.
So beautiful.
right at the pond.
It is, I do remember that.
Mhm.
yes.
That the one with the canyon in the middle?
Uh,
Yeah, we had
No,
a
Eccleston
time when we
Brook
had to-
runs
we had
through
no
the middle of the
traffic
property.
Because of the.
Mhm.
the
Yeah, it had a
frogs.
beautiful vernal, one
Yeah.
of the best
Mm,
vernal
yeah.
pools that the
Right.
environmentalists had ever
That
seen.
guy was from Cape
Yeah.
Cod. yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and they wanted to put a building up in the back on a piece of property. And had a road going across and we put some permit on it as to when they can use it.
Yeah, it's for the frogs to
Mhm.
cross, so.
Salamanders.
During my.
all right, if you guys want to go, guys, they don't need long history. What should we do?
And it's not on the agenda. So there we are. Robert's rules, right?
All right.
All right.
Second.
Wait a second, I know. We need a second. All right, let's not get into that, but good job, you got that.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed. Good.
It was painted.